found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
Wide receivers. What's cracking? What's living? How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? It's First Choice Fantasy. We are back today. We got the wide receivers on deck for the start sits of Week 5. We got the start sits, the wide receiver position for Week 5. Alex is not here, which is very, very sad. But he has a disease that is not really considered a disease. He's sick. He has a cold. He's not able to be with us today. But I got his duties. I will say the scorecard. Week 4. Brandon finished with a +10. Alex finished with a +1. And I finished with a -2, leaving us with a running total of third place with me trailing by a large margin of -14. That is what I have. Alex is in second or next to last place, whichever way you want to look at it, with a -3. Brandon, +11. At this point,
so
it's like,
hard to get out.
At this point, do you deserve a crown? I don't know if you deserve a crown because you've had.
By end of season, we're gonna need some sort of I don't know, something. I gotta have a crown or a golden chain for the whole off season, just so everyone knows who to pay attention to the most.
I'll get some coffee imported from Colombia for you, straight out of Colombia, straight out the ground.
That works. I like coffee.
Loves coffee. All right, diving into it, we got 2 starts, 2 sits at the wide receiver position for each person. I will kick us off, and my first start this week, John Brown against the Tennessee Titans. John Brown's week last week, that one catch that he had at the goal line, which should have been a touchdown, at least in my eyes. It looked like it was a touchdown. Was not considered a touchdown, and for that reason, he had 6 points. But if that would have been called a touchdown, he would have had 12, and that would have been it right there. That would have been a hit, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But he didn't get it, and he plays the Tennessee Titans, whose secondary has not shown to be all that so far this year. I think Josh Allen's obviously going to have a field day. He's been having a field day the entire season. This is his season. But John Brown's going to be on the other end of that field day. He's going to be on the other end of the field day. They're going to be meeting in the middle. They're going to be having beautiful babies for fantasy points, if that makes any sense to you. They're going to be having a lot of fantasy points over there in Buffalo against Tennessee if the game is played, which would be upsetting if it's not because who likes football canceled? Because I don't.
I know.
Nobody does. You got any comments on Mr. Brown?
John Brown? No. I think John Brown's a great wide receiver. He produces week in, week out. He does what he's asked to do. He looks good doing it, too.
Hard-working man. He looks good doing it. All right. Moving forward, my second start of the week is Brandon Cooks against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Cooks put up a dud this past week. Very sad. Very sad, I would say. It's not really – I don't know. It just seemed odd. I think he had 5 targets last week. 3 targets, 94% snap share against the Minnesota Vikings. I don't really have any words for that game besides the fact that I'm sure everybody's happy that they lost because now Bill O'Brien doesn't have a job. So that's a good thing. So hopefully Deshaun Watson doesn't get traded from Houston for chips, like Alex would say. But I just think this offense, after having those first 4 rough games, I think they're going to find their footing. I think Brandon Cooks is going to have a bounce back game. He put up 3 points the week before. He put up 0 as well, so he wasn't doing too hot. And he put up 3 points week 1. But if he keeps up this decent snap share, he had 53% snap share week 1 and then 88, 88, 94. It's looking pretty consistent the past 3 weeks. If he keeps that up, gets the volume, which he looked like at least the first week, he looked like Deshaun Watson's go-to target practically. So I think his volume is still gonna be there. It's gonna go up a little bit more than 3 targets, I believe, and I think he has a big day against Jacksonville.
Yeah. Let me pull up Yeah, Brandon Cooks against Jacksonville. I like that.
I also wanted to say the line for FanDuel Sportsbook, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, the Texans are 6-point favorites, and the game total points scored is at 54.5. So it's a pretty high-scoring affair, and the Texans are favored in that one by almost a touchdown, which shows that the Texans are probably very likely to score a decent amount of points this week. And who knows, maybe Brandon Cooks gets one of those touchdowns and he has 12 points or something. I don't think he has he doesn't even have a touchdown in the year yet. So say he gets a touchdown, gets a couple, 70 yards. That's a valid game for Brandon Cooks. I can see it happening starting this week.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind Brandon. Yeah, I wouldn't normally want Brandon Cooks starting on my team, but this week, against Jacksonville, that defense isn't anything special, and like you said, it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I agree. I can see the potential in that start.
Good.
My start that I thought had all the potential in the world starting the season, DJ Moore. We want more. And, if he doesn't give us more against Atlanta, I don't know how I would feel, because DJ Moore was what Calvin Ridley is, other than this week, what Calvin Ridley has done up until week 4 was exactly what I expected DJ Moore to do. I thought Moore was going to blow up. He has not. And I don't know if it is a coaching thing. I don't know if it's just Robbie Anderson is more talented. It just sounds wrong. But I think DJ Moore is going to have a good game against this defense. And if he doesn't, it's got to be a lot of rethinking, because it's a shame what's happening, because I had such high expectations for him. However, this week, I think it's fair to have those high expectations because of the defense.
I got a little side note very quick.
Go for it.
I think the reason that Robbie Anderson is getting all the attention and whatnot is because of the fact that he's playing 22% of his snaps in the slot, which is very high, expecting compared to what he previously had in previous years and whatnot. People expect him to be a deep target while he's getting 22% of the snaps in the slot, and he's also running his target distance. His average target distance is also 9.5, compared to DJ Moore's. Guess his number.
I would have thought 9.5. I would have thought what is it?
12.8.
Wow.
DJ Moore's being used as a deep threat, which is not what he excels in, obviously.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense. I think it has more to do with the fact that Matt Rule, like we said in the offseason, Robbie Anderson was at Temple when Matt Rule was head coach there. So I think he may be, kind of too scared to use DJ Moore because he doesn't really know how to use him, but he's using him incorrectly, and it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson is having the role that we expected DJ Moore to have. Me and you both said, I know I said it. I was expecting this to be a Michael Thomas-esque season from DJ Moore.
No, I said it too.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say that specifically, but I agreed with the take.
And, that's his usage he's being used incorrectly according to what he was succeeding at last year. And that is the reason why he has been off the charts, hasn't really been there. He's just been absent practically. And I think you should start him. But, hey, if you want to start.
I don't understand coaches' mindsets when it comes to having a history of these. You have 2 wide receivers. You have a history between the 2. And instead of putting them in the roles that history has proven to be successful, he's like, let's switch them around. Do it that way. Yeah. I don't see the reason in it.
This is the funny thing to me. Carolina, they started using Well, they used Curtis Samuel incorrectly for the past year or two.
Yeah.
And Kyle Allen was sending Curtis Samuels those streaks. Just speed past him, and hopefully Kyle Allen can hit you. Kyle Allen can't hit you. Kyle Allen can't hit a fucking 50-foot poster from in front of him. It's not happening. Kyle Allen's bad. Teddy Bridgewater does not have the accuracy or the arm power to get it deep to DJ Moore, so that's why he is failing to just do anything. So that's why Robbie Anderson is really getting Robbie Anderson is not a slouch. I'm not saying he's a slouch, but he's getting more – he's having better performance than DJ Moore because of the fact that he's getting these shorter targets. And he's a very fast player, so he's going to be able to get the yak as well. Curtis Samuel's also having himself a pretty short target distance as well. He's at 6.7 average target distance in yards, which is less than both of them. And Curtis Samuel's pretty good at after the catch, obviously. He's an athlete. And, so that is why DJ Moore is not succeeding, and that's why I don't know if he's going to succeed this week against Atlanta. I'm not too sure on your take here.
I really hope – DJ Moore signed his rookie contract, in 2018? I really hope he ends up leaving whenever his contract is up, at least if nothing changes, because I don't understand how some players can, take so much from an organization. If I was Deshaun Watson, I would have been out of there after they signed or traded away D-Hop. How these players have such a patience with these boneheaded.
I think it's the emotional connection with the fans and the area. You know what I mean?
The franchise.
Yeah, the fan base and the community in general, Houston. J.J. Watt, you think he really likes the organization that much, or Bill O'Brien that much that he wanted to stay there throughout all those years?
That's true.
I think he's just happy with his life inside of it. But who am I to speak on these players' lives?
Yeah. My second start is Marquis Brown. He's going against Cincinnati. I think it's going to be a pretty runaway game for the Ravens. It's a divisional matchup. And I think Marquis Brown is going to have some success in this game. He had his season high of 8 targets last week against Washington. And I think I was watching, I'm pretty sure he got missed on a deep bomb, which would have put him up above 16 points on the week. But he was just missed on a deep bomb, which would have gotten the yards and the touchdown. And I think against Cincinnati, he's going to make that connection. And kind of connecting back onto the running back starts. Watch it. I think it's going to be early. Marquis Brown, some lightning plays, and then to end the game, get Mark Ingram some looks to close out. And that's my scenario I see playing out in Baltimore.
I can dig it. Marquise Brown, all he really needs is one big play, and he's a big play guy, so I can see it happening. Pretty realistic. Valid start. That's all I really got to say about it. Moving forward, we got Alex's 2 starts of the wide receiver position. Like I previously stated, I was going to start Darius Slayton in the quarterbacks episode. I said that, but Alex put him down in the document, and Alex also said that he gets a lot of targets. He's going to have a lot of catches against Dallas. So he's practically saying that Dallas' defense is bad, which is obviously not news to anybody, I hope, that's watching this video. But Darius Slayton is his first start of the week. And then Justin Jefferson against Seattle is the second start of the week. For much of the same reason that I have Kirk Cousins as my quarterback start of the week, Justin Jefferson is facing a putrid Seattle Seahawks secondary, and he's going to have the workload and the space if they key in on Thielen. So if they game plan around Thielen and stopping Thielen, they're going to leave Justin Jefferson open a couple times. And Justin Jefferson's shown his big playability as well. So it's a pretty valid start in my eyes as well.
Yeah.
Any comments?
I like both of those starts. actually quite a bit. Darius Slayton, I had a huge thing for him in the off season. I was thinking he was gonna have a great year, and I don't think he's disappointed anybody, but he hasn't wowed either.
I mean, week
Uh,
one he did, yeah. That is a given.
yeah. Week one he did. Uh,
102 touchdowns.
yeah. As for Justin Jefferson, he's been showing up. As for a rookie, he's been showing up, and I mean, hey, good for him. He, I know we have been having a low expectation. Not really a low expectation, just
Realistic.
yeah. And plus, we didn't agree with a slot wide receiver being drafted as high as he did. And apparently, he isn't just a slot wide receiver, as he's proving this year, which is a surprise to. I know gotta be a surprise to Alex because he's the one who really went to Jefferson's throat with that. But now, week 5 is Alex's start of the week. So
Things have come full circle.
yeah.
All right. What I have to say about Darius Slayton real quick before we do go to the sits, I think he's a valid trade target at the moment, although we're not making a video this week or next week. I think Darius Slayton's a valid trade target. I mean, he plays Dallas this week, obviously, so I think he's going to blow up this week. I think this is going to be the last time to get him right now before he blows up this week. Then he plays Washington and Philly. The secondary in Philly is obviously not bad, but I think it's bad enough for Darius Slayton to do some big things. Then he plays Tampa Bay, which is also another not bad defense, but I can see Darius Slayton putting up some points. Then he plays Washington and Philly again. Then he has a bye. Cincinnati, Seattle, Arizona, Cleveland, and then he plays Baltimore in the championship. But I think after the bye, it's pretty beautiful. Cincinnati, Seattle, Arizona, and Cleveland. It's a pretty valuable matchup.
Yeah.
All right. After that note, we're going to move to the sits of the wide receiver position. I'm going to kick it off with T.Y. Hilton against Cleveland, who I did just practically infer they're a pretty bad secondary, but Phillip Rivers' arm is shot out. He's not throwing any deep balls. He has, among the quarterbacks who have thrown a pass this year, he ranks bottom 5 in the longest completion through the air among all quarterbacks that have thrown a pass. That's something of note. Also, Hilton's average target distance is 24th in the NFL, so he's being used as a deep target per se. And that's kind of where, it seemed like that's where Cleveland was really lacking last week against Dallas. Anderson Dejo is literally bonkers. I don't know how he's on a roster or how he's starting nonetheless, but he looked very bad back there, and that's where teams really take advantage of Cleveland, it seems, on defense. In the secondary, like deep in the secondary. And you would think T.Y. Hilton would be a start this week, but seeing as I don't think Phil Rivers can really make that throw anymore. And if he does, if he just makes one, I'm proven wrong. It's obvious. If T.Y. Hilton gets a 60-yard catch for a touchdown or something like that, this goes out the window, which is realistic. But I'm going to be ballsy, and I'm going to sit T.Y. Hilton for those reasons. And, that's why I sat T.Y. Hilton against Cleveland. Do you have any comments on that one?
This will be the week where just T.Y. Hilton just explodes. Just specifically because this reason.
Yeah, I have minus 14, so it makes sense for me to be wrong yet again. I guess that's all.
No, I think T.Y. Hilton for me. Honestly, if I had any shares of T.Y. Hilton, I'd be very close to just dropping his ass.
Yeah.
Picking up, hoping that someone ends up dropping a player like Russell Gage. I would drop T.Y. Hilton for Gage in a heartbeat.
I agree. Just because the volume and the overall ability, I guess you could say, of the two.
Yeah.
But moving forward to my second sit of the week, I wanted to choose Julian Edelman because of the fact that, Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer looked like complete dog crap last night. But as a result, I chose to go with Nikhil Harry, who It feels like a cop-out, but it's not really as bad a cop-out as Chase Claypool, so I'm just going to roll with it. Nikhil Harry had 9.6 points this past week. He got it off a touchdown. He had 3 catches for 21 yards and a touchdown. I don't see that happening yet again. Or I don't see that happening against Denver, especially if, say, Brian Hoyer or Jared Stidham do start. I don't think Nikhil Harry is going to really do all that much just because I don't really see him getting all the volume like that. You know what I mean? I can see Julian Edelman putting up numbers just because Denver's defense is bad. We seen it last week with the fucking Jets put up, like 30 points, something like that. I can see the Patriots putting up points, which does make this, again, another risky sit. So it's not a definitive sit him regardless. Like, even if you have nobody to play, don't play him. It's like I'm taking shots here. Like, I need to get +2s so that I come back and my scorecard is not negative this week. So sitting Nikhil Harry.
I like it.
You like the ballsiness?
Personally, I don't think it's too ballsy, just because watching that game, Harry didn't look very good. However, he was targeted quite a bit from what I was watching. So, I mean, yeah.
If Cam Newton does come back,
yeah, if Cam Newton comes back, then I would think it's a little bit more ballsy.
Still a possibility. So I'm still going balls to the wall. This is the ball. Balls.
Nice. Speaking of ballsy, AJ Brown said I would claim that this is AJ Brown's been injured.
That is the lack of balls right there because he has been injured. But go ahead.
He has been injured. However, last week he had a chance at playing. He actually was on track to playing. So this week he's kind of had that time to rest. So I don't think there's any expectation he would miss this game, and I would personally hope that he would be 100% if he was on track to playing last week. He's definitely going to play this week, in my opinion. However, he's going to probably be shadowed by Tre'Davious White, and that's just he's just a really good cornerback, and I think the Titans have other weapons that can tear up other aspects of this defense. Derrick Henry, I could see having a good week. I could see Jonnu Smith being a pretty solid start this week. As for AJ Brown, I think he will be the guy who won't do much. So that's my take. And my second sit is T. Higgins against Baltimore. T. Higgins has really been coming onto the scene for the Bengals. Last week his snap percentage kind of fell, went down to 57%. And the week before that, against Philadelphia, he had 81%. And that was the most snap percentage he's had all year. And also in that game against Philly, he had 9 targets. Since then, week 4, that went down to 7 and only 4 receptions. But I think against this defense and how deep this defense is and how good the cornerbacks are, I think the veterans on this defense will be able to shut down an unexperienced rookie. So
I can
that's
dig
my
it.
opinion.
I like T. Higgins. I just think he is a talented dude, but I guess the matchup does kind of sway my opinion. AJ Brown, if they even play the game, I think it's a valid sit as well, but it's another big if they play the game. But yeah, I respect your opinion, and that's what I got to say about it.
Now I'm curious if Has any more players been popping up positive for the Titans?
No, there was no plan.
Okay. All right.
Another bad thing, I guess, that can actually help your case also is the fact that, like, they haven't been able to go to the practice facility, like, for the past week. So, I mean, they really haven't been practicing all that much. So,
and since A.J. Brown's been injured, he might not be as caught up.
Yeah, that too. And I don't think if the game is put on for Sunday, I don't think they can go back to the practice facility until I think Thursday. I may be wrong on that, but that's another day, another 2 days. And then at that point, I mean, you have 3 days of preparation. You have Thursday and Friday and practically Saturday for preparation for a game. It's kind of rough. I don't know. It's kind of rough to me. But.
At least it is at Tennessee. So
yeah.
At least there's no travel involved for the team. So saves them a little bit of time to, put that practice on.
All right. Moving forward to Alex's 2 sits of the Week 5 at the wide receiver position. He has OBJ against Indianapolis after OBJ just put up monstrous game last week. What was it, 30 touchdowns? 2? I don't know. He did some great shit. And
it was a good game for my star, Odell Beckham.
Anyway, Alex's notes said a lot of Cleveland players on here as he started Kareem Hunt. I'm sure this won't bite me in the ass. This defense is legit, and he's been fairly when not playing the Cowboys. This is true. It's very true. He's not wrong.
And this is exactly why I said the wait in our trade targets / trade away episodes from last week. Check it out. Good information. You'd be ahead of the curve if you did check it out, but I'm just gonna let you in on a little secret here. Odell Beckham, trade him away. Just kind of let him go off into the abyss, into the fantasy league. Got a huge game. Trade him away.
I'm not too sure if Odell's going to underperform like Alex expects him to. He said he's probably going to get bit in the ass, which is possible because, I mean, Allen Robinson put up, 19.6 points last week against Indianapolis, and Odell is practically on par in talent, so I think it's possible. But I don't disagree with OBJ being a sit. Moving forward, Jerry Judy is his second sit against the Patriots. His notes say New England still has a great secondary, and Judy should get a lot of attention. I agree. I mean, even with Brett Rypien or whoever the hell it is at quarterback, I don't see the offense being successful. Like we said before about Melvin Gordon getting a lot of attention. Jerry Judy might, even if he doesn't get a lot of attention, he has Brett Rypien throwing the ball. So, I mean, it's kind of questionable, especially against a New England secondary with Stephon Gilmore. Like, that's something to be scared of, and I think it's worthy of a sit. So
less than ideal.
Yeah, very less than ideal. All right, you got any other comments on this?
I don't.
All right, well, that will do for the wide receivers start sit week 5 wide receivers. Like, share, tell your friends, subscribe to us. You should subscribe to us. Also leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns. Start sit questions, just hard decisions you have to make up. So, adios.
See you guys later.